But before you even understand about blogs and podcasts, there's one thing you really need to understand, is that the world is changing. And you probably remember, it wasn't that long ago, where you were saying, what is this internet? What is a website? Why do I need one of these things? There are very, very few people now who are in business that I've met that don't have a website. I think that's going to be the same case with blogs. Mostly blogs, not so much with podcasts, because podcasts are a little bit more technically involved than a blog. But I think you're going to see a very similar trend with blogs. One of the other things that's interesting, and that I follow being an advertising guy, is where advertisers are spending their money. Now, back not that long ago in 2002, that's where the online investment was. In a few short years, you can see where it's going. Every year, Adweek magazine comes out with a study, and they find out where advertisers are putting their money. And since about 1998, something interesting happened, and that was that the traditional media the spending in the traditional media space was starting to level off. And just as that was starting to level off, the spending on the internet started going like this. So even though traditional media was a much bigger piece of the pie at that time, that little slice of online kept growing 4 and 5 times more every year since about the late 90s. And what's happening now is that online media is starting to replace some pretty traditional types of media. Like, I think it just beat out cable TV this year. There's a lot of money being spent on cable. And I think it's actually beat out radio as well. And I don't see that trend changing, because as long as this continues to happen, and it will happen, the money that's being spent, which is reflecting the people, where people are spending the time, they wouldn't be, believe me, these big advertisers would not be spending that kind of money if they didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on research, knowing that that's where the buying decisions are being made. And we all know this, because how many people have teenage kids here? Okay. How many of those teenagers spend a lot of time online? Quite a bit, I bet. And as the population gets older and older, and people like me who are, over 50 start, getting older and older, the younger people are going to be, who grew up not knowing what it was like without the internet. So this is why social media sites like Facebook and MySpace and YouTube and countless others are getting the attention of advertisers.